Hi girls, I'm Sinistra and welcome back to Wikipedia. Today I'm going to be adding fuel to the fire and telling you all about all the illegal shit Infold has been up to recently. This all started with a huge Reddit post from SpiderB8, of which this video is loosely based on. You know me girls, I'm not just going to sit here and read you the post. I feel like that would be pinching SpiderB8's hard work and research for a few clicks. I'm going to tell you and explain the what, where and the why of all the shitty illegal stuff that Infold's been up to. Although the original post was very informative, I'm going to be ditching all that legalese and telling you the truth of the situation in a way I hope every one of my stylists can understand. Obviously, I'm not a legal professional, and just to cover my ass, this is all alleged. All the currencies that I show are in the New Zealand dollar, and all of my sources will be linked below. My goal here is very simple, to hold Infold accountable for their actions. I'm done hearing from developers. I want to hear from higher ups who are making these decisions, breaking laws all across the world just to line their fucking wallets. It's the same frustration I have with 1.5 as a whole. Decision makers are making the game worse only to benefit themselves. Like, seriously, you cannot tell me that a developer thought that adding prisms to the dye workshop was a good idea. It doesn't enhance gameplay, it only makes money. Lastly, this video is guided by SpiderB8's post, but I've done a lot of my own fact checking and a lot more research myself. Majority of this info is from official government websites, but anyway, let's just get into it. Up first is Infinity Nikki's fake discounts. This has been a real problem for a while, and it was made disgustingly obvious when stylists logged in seconds after 1.5 went live and saw an $82 bath set, which was already graciously and generously discounted to a low price of $16.99. How kind of them to offer us such a good deal, right? This type of deceptive behavior isn't new. Crystal packs are always 50% off or more, Stellar outfits are constantly on sale, and store props all have huge discounts. These extremely ridiculously expensive original prices are fake, and they're there to trick you into spending more money. You might think you're immune to this type of false advertising, but no matter how aware you are, you can still get subconsciously influenced whether you like it or not. In the US, this type of deceptive marketing is illegal. Let me explain a section from the Code of Federal Regulations in a way my girls can understand. Marquez Jr. sells a skirt that used to be $20 but is now $10, which sounds like a great deal, right? If the skirt was $20 for a significant amount of time beforehand, then yes, $10 is a bargain. But if Marquez Jr. pretends the skirt was $20, even though he never sold it for that price, just to make $10 look like a deal, then it's an illegal trick. The European Union also have directives which crack down on misleading advertising, which have untrue information that could deceive or trick you into making a purchase you might not have made if there wasn't a false discount in the first place. I know that literally 3 people from New Zealand play Infinity Nikki, but we have something very similar called the Fair Trading Act, which explains that you can't say something is on sale when it was never sold at a higher price or lie to make people spend money. Infold is in clear violation of these laws in multiple countries. More countries than I mentioned. This is a very common law in most usual countries. Although they have had these extreme discounts for a very long time, I think this is something us as players have been able to overlook because the positives of the game previously outweighed the negatives. Now it's just another problem to add to the pile which could get them in a lot of hot water in the future.
Money.
Everything.
Not everything.
We all know 1.5 was dog shit. Stylists playing Infinity Nikki on a device that wasn't a high-spec PC, experienced constant game-breaking bugs, or just couldn't log in whatsoever. Stylists who had played Nikki just fine previously were now pretty much hard locked out of the game with no hope for the future. Infinity Nikki being unplayable, while completely unacceptable, isn't in itself breaking the law. The issues arise when stylists who had paid for monthly gifts couldn't log in to collect those paid rewards. Obviously, players contacted Infold immediately when they couldn't log in, and the response they received was, play the game on another device. Girl, I don't need to tell you how fucking disgusting that is. SpiderB8's Reddit post cites the US mail, internet, or telephone order merchandise rule that is a horrible name, which mostly applies to physical or digital goods with a set delivery date, like an online course you would pay for but you never received, or like those old school order forms you would send through the post. Although it does mention services not being delivered on time, it's a real stretch to apply this to monthly gifts and it's not entirely accurate. I'm not saying it's not illegal, I just couldn't find anything in US law that clearly fits the situation. I can really see why SpiderB8 used this as a law that Infold was breaking, but it was last updated in 2014 and it's quite old, and it's a real stretch to assume that it covers something this specific. And the US is real behind in their laws, and obviously it doesn't seem like they'll catch up for quite a while. So it is a real stretch, and I'm not saying Spider B8 is wrong, but it does seem incorrect. I am obviously not a law professional, but just from me reading this and giving this to some other people to read and having a Google, it just doesn't seem like it applies. It's definitely illegal. Somehow, some way, I'm sure there is some fuck around way combination of multiple different US laws that makes this illegal, but I could not find anything. I could not figure it out, and this is the thing that closely fits the situation, but it is not entirely accurate. The European Union has the Digital Content Directive, which basically says that if you're selling something online, you have to deliver exactly what was promised. When you buy monthly gifts in the EU, it's like entering a sort of contract with Infold, the expectation being that you can log in daily and collect your items. Your side of the contract is that if you forget to log in, that's on you, that's your fault. But if you can't access the game due to Infold's issues, they're the ones breaking the contract, and you are in your right to ask for a refund. Over here in New Zealand, we do it real simple. We've got something called the Consumer Guarantees Act, which pretty much just does what it says on the tin. A product must be delivered on time, fit for purpose, achieve the promised result, and fit the description of the original product. This applies to pretty much any product or service you've purchased online or in person. Monthly gifts are collected once a day upon login. This is made unbelievably clear. So if you can't log in because the game doesn't work, say it with me, it's illegal. If Infold has been unable to help you, I urge you to contact your equivalent of the Citizens Advice Bureau. Not only is this unacceptable, the way Infold has been handling this is fucking horrific. Is it really that hard to just give stylists the diamonds that they missed? Like, you then wouldn't have to give people refunds, just give them the diamonds that they missed. And I guess would learn for the future to not trust buying monthly gifts from you. Like, is it really that hard?
I'm having therapy. I'm going to the solarium. I have spoken with the Citizens Advice Bureau. There's nothing inside killing me.
Yeah?
Buckle up, bitch. We're gonna do some learning. Not scary learning, we're just gonna do some Infinity Nikki learning, and it's gonna be great. This will benefit you in the future, but buckle up, bitch. When you pull on a banner, you expect a fair chance to pull any outfit piece, right? The probability section backs this up by stating that drop rates depend on the star level. 5-star pieces have a 1.5% base probability and a 6.06 consolidated probability. The base percentage is your true RNG. Every time you pull, you have a 1.5% chance to get a 5-star piece. It's essentially your raw luck per pull. The consolidated percentage is your chance when all the gacha rules are taken into account. Because Infinity Nikki's banners have a hard pity, your consolidated chance is much higher. If you pull 20 times, you are guaranteed one 5-star piece. That is the consolidated drop chance. If you receive more within that 20 pulls, that is your base percentage at work, so consider yourself lucky. This implies that each piece has an equal chance. Nowhere does it mention or hint that specific pieces have different drop rates. 2 months ago, Gacha shared data mined info on Twitter, revealing that the Crimson Rhapsody and Art of the Tailoring banner had specific drop rates per piece, accessories having higher chances and more valuable pieces like dresses and hair having significantly lower drop chances. These percentages were pulled from the client side of Infinity Nikki, so the information that's on our devices, so there is no way to 100% confirm if they reflect the actual in-game odds. Please take this information with a grain of salt. I encourage you to be skeptical of the exact percentages and weights used if they're true, but many players, including myself, found that their pulling experience closely aligns with these numbers. I pulled fully on Crimson Rhapsody and Out of the Tailoring. I love those outfits, they're so beautiful, they're literally my favorite, they're so cute. But I found that when I was pulling, especially with Crimson Rhapsody, the order I was getting them closely aligned with these numbers, and I had seen this post at the time, and literally it borderline completely added up and was almost exactly the same. I wouldn't be surprised if this was true, but it's not certified, it's not 100%, we cannot confirm, but it is still a strong coincidence. China is really ahead of the curve when it comes to regulating gacha games, loot boxes, and in-game app purchases. Games published in China are required to go through the NPPA, who are extremely strict when it comes to reviewing games that share similarities with gambling. Alongside the NPPA, China has some really specific laws targeting gacha games. There is one specific point that I read that really stuck out to me. Game developers must disclose the percentage probability of obtaining an item from a loot box. These percentages must reflect reality. It does make me wonder, does Infinity Nikki's current disclosed drop rates reflect reality? They do plainly share their rates for star level items overall, but does hiding individual drop rates for specific pieces reflect the true reality? The FTC says that companies cannot hide information or key facts that could change a customer's mind. The important stuff needs to be clearly stated so that customers can make smart choices. The FTC doesn't have any specific laws saying you must disclose gacha pull rates, but if not disclosing them causes confusion, trickery, or unfairness, the FTC could take action. Because the European Union is made up of 27 different countries, their laws are a bit all over the place. Gacha mechanics and loot boxes are considered illegal gambling in Belgium if real money purchases are involved and if it's based on chance, although Infinity Nikki, from what I researched, is available there because you can't directly buy pulls with money. You have to buy crystals to then pull, or you buy stellarite to convert to diamonds to pull, which somehow gets around those laws. The rest of the EU is pretty all over the place. They do have plain language laws and require probability to be disclosed, but nothing that specific. Still, if probability needs to be disclosed, is hiding individual drop chances still not disclosing the true probability? We are way behind in New Zealand. We define gambling as something that involves consideration, chance, and a prize, and traditionally something that happens down at the pokies. Loot boxes and gacha mechanics aren't considered gambling unless the virtual items can be traded for real money. New Zealand law also doesn't require games to disclose their drop rates, and oh my god, please pick up the ball. Please do something about that. They are so lax. It is crazy. I'm so shocked that more gacha games haven't come out of New Zealand that are like crazy predatory, because these laws are so relaxed. It's so obvious that governments just can't keep up with modern gacha games fast enough. We all know that gacha is a form of gambling, and without a doubt hooks people in, I think, much stronger than going down to the slots or the pokies. It's really easy to rationalize buying a few $1.99 packs here and there without realizing how much it adds up to. I know me and a lot of other people have been in that situation. Let me tell you a little story, girls. A friend of mine was working for a government department providing support to people stuck in New Zealand back during the COVID lockdowns. Part of this was assessing people's financial situation, and it was based on things like bank statements. They told me about someone who was declined any support because they had spent $300 worth of $2.99 Genshin packs over a 1 week period. Basically, they weren't in hardship because they were stuck in New Zealand with no money, they were in hardship because they blew it all on Genshin Impact. And we are done. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to this part, you are a real G. I just want to clarify, I'm not a legal professional, I'm not a legal expert. I did get a brutal hyperfixation on gacha laws for the last 2 weeks. I was in the trenches. I was swimming through and drowning in the Code of Federal Regulations. I was literally fighting for my life for you, girl, but I'm not a legal expert. I'm not trying to take Infold to court or anything. I just thought this was a very valuable video to make and make it easily understandable. Because although the original Reddit post was really great, it was a lot of legalese and I found it really difficult to actually get into my brain and understand. So that's why we're here making this video. I thank you, SpiderB8. I really appreciate all the hard work you've done. Someone needed to do some research besides you, so I put in the hard yucca and did a little bit of Googling myself. And also thank you to whoever sent me an email. I was already researching this video at the time. I've been doing this for a while. But I really appreciate you contacting me. I felt really special. I will say I did find it a little bit weird, the amount of reactionary content that was made about this post. I know, I find I'm often just dogging on other people, but this was really weird. This post from SpiderB8 is a list of legal accusations. I mean, they clearly have broken the law, allegedly, but this is a list of legal accusations, and I saw people on Twitch and people just generally posting their reaction videos to it, and it was like quite obvious they hadn't like read the laws or understood them or read these sources or done any sort of stuff like that. And I'm not dogging on you, do whatever the fuck you want, I don't care, like, it doesn't affect me. I'm also allowed to talk about whatever I want. This is my channel and I'll talk about what I want. But I did find it really strange, the amount of just like reactionary content on it. It was just a little bit weird. I mean, recommend that you do a little bit of research before you talk about it, because it can be a bit confusing and sometimes you can say really wrong shit, girls. But other than that, like, I really appreciate anyone who's made a video on this, because this information is important to be out in the world, and they have allegedly done very illegal things. I mean, just to clarify, like, if you made a video that was somewhat informative and, like, wasn't just a reaction video, like, go you, girl, get it, sis, like, love you, slay, but, like, if it was just like a reaction video, just like reading it and like sharing your brief opinions that because you weren't really sure what was going on, like please just put it into ChatGPT or something. I tried to avoid using ChatGPT for most of this because it is a useful tool, but it's not great when trying to do like well-researched, like informative videos that you're trying to get like pretty much like mostly somewhat correct, especially if you're not super versed on the topic. I tried to get all this information straight from like government websites and put them into my own words. It was very difficult. I had my husband help me a little bit because I'm dyslexic as fuck, but like you have resources there to learn about these things that make it a lot easier. But anyway, let's stop shitting on other people because that's toxic as fuck. But you know me, girls. Welcome to my background. I hope you like it. These are my dolls. These are my littlest pet shops. I've got hundreds more of them somewhere. I think they're in the wardrobe. But this is my new setup and I hope you like it. I'm inspired by Izzy's, my New Zealand girl. And yeah, these are my dolls. This is probably my favorite. This is my favorite LOL OMG. All my other LOL OMGs are in the bedroom. I like them watching while I sleep. But this one I got from Trade Me. I got it for like $65 and it's like, it's retail. In box is like $250. Girl, I was so lucky. They're mostly like the recent ones, but I had lots of originals as like a child growing up and they were all in good condition because I'm a freak and they have always been like that. But I was made to give them all away because I was too old and yeah, it was really horrible. I have got an original operator behind that box, but I don't want her to get like tainted from the sun. She's quite fragile. But these are my dolls and I hope you like them. This is my background. It's very cool. My favorite one is probably this Toralei with the guitar or a sexy Swim Time Draculaura. And these ones up here, the ones, oh my god, the ones in these boxes behind, can't really see them, the garden mystery ones. Oh, I love them, they're so cute. Yeah, I hope you like the background. I just wanted to show my personality off more and show that I'm a unique individual and I'm a cool person. I got some new lights, you can see my room better, and I hope you like it. And I hope my camera looks good because I'm really trying to like up my fucking production quality and value for you. I just want my videos to look better because I want to be a real YouTuber. I want to do this properly. I also just want to let you know that I have some medical stuff, so please just like bear with. I might miss a video. I'm trying to do a video every week, but I might miss next week. I have just got some medical stuff going on at the moment, and I would really like to post every week, but like sometimes shit gets in the way, and this is quite like a big thing that I have to deal with. But I'll keep you briefly in the loop if I do miss a video. Yeah, that was my video. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you like this setup. I just want to sit like this. I have to sit like this for my videos. I hate it. It's so annoying. I hate it straight back. Okay, I love you. I'll see you later.